Hey guys, welcome back to Dracula, a love story, and it is update day. So, like I said, I was very, very excited to play these episodes. I'm going to try to aim to record both episodes 6 and 7 in this one, but we'll see because I got to move on and do some other things. Alright, chapter 6, Message from Sotet. That's the guy who left me the castle, right? Oh, right, and here we were meeting with the other Ahmed. I used to visit a girl's often as well, though she wasn't happy to see me, that's right. And then she got here and he took her. And who's he? Lale felt everything inside her go cold. Excuse me, what? I just got here back then, and I was all alone. A burning, unbearable ache settled inside me, never letting me rest. It made me go to the palace, to that girl, to tell her about my pain. But one day, the girl got here as well. I wanted to console her. I went for her, saying she wasn't alone, saying I'd be by her side. But she wasn't comforted. On the contrary, she was running away from me, weeping, falling. Then she threw herself into the water. That's when he appeared on the boat. The darkest dark seemed to come with him. I felt so cold. Who was he? Lala couldn't help but gasp, but Ahmed didn't seem to hear her. He pulled her into his boat and said, "Time to pay." She didn't run or cry anymore. She followed him obediently, pale with her eyes full of terror, and she was gone forever. And the ache inside me disappeared as well, but a new pain had taken its place. I realized I was the one to lead the girl here to him. Inadvertently, I became her death. The young man looked at Lale suddenly as if he was just seeing her just now. Beware. I'm afraid he might come for you soon too. Okay, time to go. Lale was running over hedge and ditch, fear clouding her eyes and mine. That's right, let's get out. Hey! Oh, whew, made it to the barrier. Hot hands caught her, and Lale threw herself into the gust embrace, burying her face in her shoulder and shivering. Alexandra wrapped her arms around Lale and started petting her back. Hush, I'm here. I won't let anyone hurt you. Do you hear me? I do. Alright, let's go. Whew. So, he must be the hooded figure. The girls stepped into the green part of the garden. This is beautiful. The sun was warming them up gently. The birds were singing. Everything was alive. Lale told Alexandra what had happened by the river. Please, if you understand at least something, explain it to me. The guest hesitated for a bit and said, Hassan is not just unquiet. Apparently neither are his brothers. He's marked with a dark force. I saw it clearly. Bad marks are common on people's souls. Hexes, evil eyes. My father helped a lot of people to take those off, and he taught me how to as well. But he also told me that there were special marks that can't be touched. Ever. Because they're made by someone that earthly sorcerer will stand no chance against. Alexandra's voice faltered and became quieter. The true darkness. The devil himself. The devil? Yes. Such a mark means the person is involved in a deal with him. Who made a deal? Was it the Sultan? Did he make a deal that one ended up getting all his kids killed? Except Mehmed, unfortunately. Let me stop. Sorry, Mehmed lovers. They say a lot of his agents walk the world, and they have a feeling for desperate people. Or the ones wishing for something passionately. Put simply, the ones willing to do anything. The dark ones give desired things to them, but the price is too high. A deal with the devil at the Sultan's palace? Alright. Suppose so. Suppose the Dark Ones decide to look for desperate people, not among the poor folk, but here. and even managed to find them. But the Sultan's sons? They were happy. They had everything they could wish for. But did the Sultan? Why would they strike a deal? Who said they did? A deal with the devil often brings death not only to the one who struck it, but to the other people connected to them. Someone else could strike a deal, and your cousin simply became the sacrifices, the payment. The dark messenger on the boat said it himself. Time to pay. Yes, but he only took the girl, and the young men still roam by the river all these years later. They might play different parts in this story. How come Hassan can get to the other shore? Souls find peace over the river, but the unquiet ones can't see the way, even though it's easy for everyone else. What about me? Would I find the way easy too? I guess, but do you really want to go there again after what you found out? No, of course not. But I won't see the third Sazade then. And I won't see Hassan either, and he's so glad to see me every time. Ali sighed sadly. Still, who could possibly strike a deal like that? Maybe one of the Sultan's ex-wives? Wait, the only one who's not dead is Mehmed. So Mehmed's mother? But she was sweet. Well, she used to be sweet until they were doing her dirty. And then they killed your mother, who was her only ally. I don't know. Ahmed died 13 years ago when I was 5. Several months later, my mom died. Maybe my mom is dead because of the deal too. Who was the girl? Could the girl have been my mom? But they said she died because of somebody my father, who they never mentioned. And approximately at the same time, Uncle Murad sent Mehmed away from the palace and stopped even mentioning his name. That's suspect. Maybe he sent Mehmed away to save him, or maybe it was because his mother was the one who cast it. And I still don't know. I thought Mehmed's mother was the sweet woman. But then Halime said that she was his mom. You know what? I still don't remember what happened there. If the deal really happened, I'm sure it was struck that ill-fated year. Shahi Hatun is mad for a reason and falls silent every time I mention this period. Who was that? Lala looked at the guest with gratitude. Thank you for coming with me, Alexandra. I don't think anyone else would believe and understand me if I told them such a thing. Yeah, man. I don't even know. 1 second. Now, I at least have someone to share with, and I feel better. Good, good. As long as I'm here, feel free to talk to me. I'll always help you. For how long will you be here? I wish you stayed here for longer. I'd stay. I can feel that my gift might be needed here. But what to do with the school? Everyone thinks I'm a scientist, so they will expect lectures. Everything I can teach is far beyond the school curriculum. Oh, right. I'll talk to Mustafa Hojam and try to settle it. We can go to him now. But let's go to Kamal first. I want to give him the mail. Have you written an answer to your friends? Yes, tonight. I thought that Mehmed prohibited Kamal to take their letters to me, but he didn't say anything about my letters to them. Clever thinking. We didn't expect the fuss by the soldiers' building. The junior grade of the school was there. Mustafa Hojam was trying to manage a big group of kids alone. Thanks to you, both girls and boys can stay at the school. Yay! Esme Hatun, what are you doing? She'll drive me mad, I swear. She is so cute. Who is this little cutie? A girl in a gorgeous dress was crawling across the grass, reflecting sunlight into her classmates' eyes with her mirror. Stop that! You're gonna blind them. It was the youngest and most beloved daughter of Sultan Murad. What? I didn't know he had a daughter. Good morning, teacher. Is Zara not with you today? Yes, Demetrius Holjam has gone to a scientific gathering, and Zara suddenly volunteered to come also. Did she? I let her. let them go together. Whoa, what's that face? The teacher smirked mysteriously. He knows! He knows their feelings too, and he doesn't seem to mind. Yeah. And I set up an outside class, but I'm over the hill now. Esme ran to them, greeted her cousin Lale cheerfully, and gave a side eye to Alexandra. I haven't seen you before. It's Elena Hatun. She came on your father's invitation to deliver a course of lectures. Good morning, my lady. Nice to meet you. What an interesting accent. You're not Ottoman. That's right. The lady comes from Greece, but she's been living in Edirne for several years now. The answer didn't seem to satisfy the girl. Oh, yeah? Tell me. What's Greek for... Oh, no. Stop right now. Am I going to have to answer? What's Greek for... Oh, I know a little bit. Oh, no. She squinted cunningly, catching another ray with a mirror. For example, the sun. I think it's like... no. I think it's like Helios? Helios, something. What was it? Okay, because here it says Helios, and then there's also Helios. It's gonna be one of those. Surely. Alexandra started frantically scrambling for the few Greek words she knew. Actina Copria. Helios. Yes, that's right. Respective apologies. Mustafa Hojam nodded approvingly and Esme smiled. Well, welcome. The little cheeky little girl. The teacher clapped his hands, attracting the class's attention. Please, prepare for the next task. The kids started bustling about. Several girls asked Esme to be in the pair with them, but she refused. She walked to the end of the clearing where a boy was standing. Radu. He was holding an envelope with a brim of letter pulled out, rereading it again and again. Was that a letter from Vlad? Radu didn't hear the teacher and didn't see the Sultan's daughter standing in front of him, and she froze, looking at his beautiful face and long eyelashes as enchanted. Oh. Some kid behind her giggled. She's in love, they whispered. Esme seemed to be hit by a whip. She got red in the face and suddenly pushed Radu in his shoulder. Hey, the class is not for reading nonsense. Hold up. I'm gonna need you to calm down. Okay? You have power enough to tell whoever whispering behind you to piss off somewhere, okay? Don't go using it to bully this sweet boy. The boy flinched and wanted to hide the envelope, but she grabbed it from his hands. Give it back. The girl laughed and threw the envelope back with all her might. The letter soared into the sky. Seriously? Hold up. I liked you at first. I thought you were cheeky. But, dude, you need to calm down. Somebody come get this girl. I'd tell her about herself. Get Alexandra to cast some spells. Have her tripping face first into some mud or something. I got stuck high in the tree crown. Radu clenched his fist and stepped towards his defender so softly she couldn't help but flinch. But he didn't touch her. He just said with pain in his voice, "It's a letter from my brother from the war. You know, Esme Hatun, I thought you were better than this." Ooh. The girl got pale, looked around, and rushed to the tree, climbing up. Okay. Instant regret. Okay. No, what are you doing? Holly and Alexandra ran after her, and the teacher hurried behind them. Yeah, she probably shouldn't be in the tree. If she gets hurt, pretty sure we'll all be in trouble. Despite the puffy dress, Esme was moving very nimbly and soon got to the top. She lay on the branch and crawled across it to the letter. Please stop. The branch was getting thinner and soon it started bending under her weight. I I smell a timed event coming up. It won't hold her and break. Esme Hatun, come back. But the girl kept moving forward stubbornly. The first quiet crack rang out. We have to stop her, but how? Alexandra yanked the hem of her dress up, bearing her leg. A knife and some other instruments were attached to her hip by thin straps. She grabbed one of them. A sling. Okay. What's the plan? Lala decided to help her out. She gave to Alexandra a stick. You put a stone in the sling. The hell? Oh, thanks. Just what I needed. What? How you gonna put a stick in a sling? And do what? What you gonna do with a stick? It's like these people never played with a sling before. What the heck? I wish everyone was so quick and smart. That doesn't require you to be smart. Never played with a slingshot? Has anyone never played with a slingshot? Let me know. She put the stone into the sling, propelled it quickly, and the stone hit the envelope, knocking it off the branch. Okay. Ooh, what about the girl? Radu grabbed the letter immediately. Thank you. Thank you, Elena Hatun. Can you get down? Get down now. Don't make abrupt movements. Put your foot back first. Esme moved backwards obediently, following Alexandra's instructions. She already got past the dangerous thin part of the branch, but suddenly, a shrill scream cut through the air. Mustafa Hojam, how did you let this happen? The Sultan's daughter on a tree. Oh, fuck off! Seriously? Ugh. This woman. Yavuz Pasha was right. It's time for you to retire. I'll tell on you and you'll surely be... No. Halima Hatun is not the... Halima Hatun, it's not the teacher's fault. I got up here myself. I'm already getting down. The girl turned around sharply and slid down suddenly. Thanks! She was getting down safely. You had to come over here and start... Ugh. At the last moment, Esme grabbed onto the branch and hung on it, but her shaking arms made it clear she wouldn't hold on for long. Oh, Lord. A window on the second floor opened, and Kamal looked out. He accessed the situation immediately, ran into the room, and threw a big bedspread out. Pull it under her. All the grown-ups took the corners. Radu and the other kids clung onto the edges of the cloth. Esme shut her eyes and let go. She fell into the center, and as soon as the bedspread touched the grass, sprang up. Halime Hatun, please don't tell anything to Yavuz Pasha and the others. But the woman didn't hear her. She lifted a corner of the bedspread, examining something. It was a small hairpin. Oh no. And of course she's in cahoots with that Pasha guy. These two are like the worst people in the story. It's like these two and then Mehmed right underneath them. Oh. Damn. Because they spent the night together. Oh, no. Oh, boy. And of course she would know exactly whose hairpin that is. Oh. She always in people's business. Dude, how did she come here to get 2 pieces of evidence to use against people? Like, how she pop up right when stuff is going to hell? She causes this stuff. She the one who made the devil deal with the devil. Narain, no. My lady, you won't say anything about the tree, will you? Halima clenched the hairpin in her fist and smiled evilly. We'll see how you behave, Esme Hatun. Seriously? She turned around and walked away. Esme was almost crying. Mustafa Hojam, I'm sorry. It's all right, child. Go to the others. She bowed her head and walked away. The teacher sighed heavily. Even if she tells on you, Sultan Murad respects you very much, and he won't. I know, my darling. I'm not worried about it. But it's true. I'm not fit anymore for such agile students. They need someone younger. He looked at Alexandra. Elena Hatun, you came to deliver lectures to the teachers, but there's no one to listen to them for now. Maybe you could help me with lessons in the junior class until my assistants are back? Judging from what we just saw, you'll do just fine. Alexandra looked at Lale questioningly, and she nodded at her with a smile. All right, I agree. Wonderful. Why don't we start immediately? Alexandra helped the teacher gather the kids, and they took the class to the school together. Lale bid goodbye to them and remained alone at the clearing. See, in an idealistic world, like, Vlad and Aslan would come back perfectly safe. The Yavuz Pasha guy wouldn't come back. Halime would get dragged off into that little river in the Sleepy Baron. And Alexandra would become the new teacher. Lovely. Absolutely lovely. That will be a perfect situation. But we know that none of that's going to happen. Goodbye to them and remained alone at the clearing. Kamal walked out of the building, picked up the bedspread, and smiled worriedly. Oh, these kids. You have more important things to worry about. Kamal, where's Nure? He stumbled back, frightened. I'm not gonna tell on you. Just answer me. I'm here, Lale. She peeked out of the dark hallway. Since you know everything, can I say that I spent the night at yours? Sure, but it's too late for that. Oh, Nure, I'm afraid it won't help. Halime has found your hairpin in the bedspread. The girl got pale. Her hands started shaking. This is the end. But how would she know who's... She knows. It's the hairpins of my late mother. There are none like those. Yavuz will recognize them immediately if he sees them, and he will. Halime and him are old friends. Of course they are. Tears streamed down her face. He may kill me. I don't care. But he won't spare you either, Kamal. Lale hugged her, searching for words to console her. If Yavuz Pasha's at war, we might think of something before he comes back. A heavy pause lingered in the ear, but then Kamal ruffled his hair. We must run. Now. Where are they gonna go? He looked at Nure with burning eyes. It will be difficult, dangerous. We'll have to struggle, but if you're ready, I am. I will endure everything to be with you. Yeah, get out of here. Can I do something to help? But where are you gonna run to? Good question. In a small village by the sea, there's an old man who brought me up. It's backcountry. There are no one but fishermen. That's good. No one will recognize you. Absolutely. Then he's like family. Hopefully he won't try to turn you in. The mail caravan is leaving to the war now. I'll hide Nure in the wagon. Okay. At the first stop, I'll pretend to be sick. They'll go on without me. And the two of us will go the other way, to the sea. To the sea, with you. Oh, she did want to see the sea. She thought it was beautiful when we did the painting. That's actually quite perfect. Her eyes glistened with happiness. But, Nure, we must set out soon. You can't go home and take your belongings or money. And I don't have much. Yavuz keeps everything valuable locked. I wouldn't be able to take anything anyway, but we'll make it. If they stay there as good as dead, but they'll have a tough time on the money run on without money. I'll give Nure... Yeah, here we go. Kamal, when does the caravan leave? I must be by the stables in a quarter of an hour. Alright, then I'll go to mine and meet you there. Okay. Yeah, hopefully we can get them something so they can use some cash. Lale rushed into her room and started going through the chests hurriedly. Coin. She collected several dresses that would fit Nure and necessary things and tied them into a bundle. And then she picked the biggest and most expensive necklace out of those that her mother had passed down to her. Wow. What a good friendo. Wow, it's beautiful too. Could fetch a good price. It's a pity to give it away, but Nure needs it more now, and I think her mother will be proud of her for doing this. For sure. Just like when she stood up for Huma. Soon Lale was by the stables. The caravan men were getting ready to leave. Kamal took her to a shed stealthily. Nure was there. Lale. Oh, you look cute. Lale hugged her friend and gave her gifts to her. Here, necessary things for a new beginning, and a necklace. Mom used to wear it back then. Oh, but it's so expensive. Exactly. Sell it. It is. That's why I want you to take it. Love makes a cottage a castle, but you need to think about the future. The money you get by selling it will help you start a new life. Nure's eyes filled with tears. Lale, I'm so grateful to you. I would like to open my shop or workshop to work hard and earn honest money. Hey, there we go. Your gift will help so much. Thanks to you, Naray and Kamal will have enough money for starters. Yay! That means that nobody's gonna find them, right? At least not right now. Please. Please. I want them to be happy. The shed's door creaked. Naray, it's time. The girls shared a hug again. I don't know if we'll see each other ever again, but I want you to know, Lale, that you've always been a ray of the sun for me. I hope that everything works out, and may you both be happy. We will be. Thank you. She wrapped her cloak more tightly around herself, threw her hood on, and stepped to the door. Kamal bowed goodbye to Lale, but then she remembered about her mail. Oh, wait, Kamal. You won't get to the war, but will you be able to pass my mail? Of course, the caravan will go there. What did you want to send? A letter to my friends, Aslan and Vlad. And a second one specifically for Vlad. Yeah. Lala gave Kamal 2 signed letters. Alright, anything else? Politeness requires me to answer Society Mehmet. Saying that I got that thing that I was on his route with the mania thing. Look. Hey, it's enough that I accepted it. He can be happy with that. I don't have to write him back. Because I do need to teach him a lesson about not letting me get Aslan's and Vlad's letters. And, yeah, I'm not trying to be with him, so. As you please. Don't worry. I'll do everything for your friends to receive the mail. Thank you. Have a safe journey. Oh, those are 2 good cookies. I hope they're happy from now on. Albania, that's what a girl. Sitting by a lamp, Aslan and Vlad were opening Lale's letter impatiently. It was their 2nd month away from the places they were used to. The siege got prolonged and hit a dead end. The constant night attacks from Skanderbeg's troops were draining the forces and nerves of the Sultan's army more and more. But this evening, the mail caravan brought a lot of joy to both friends. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, my food's almost here. A letter keeping the warmth of Lale's hands and the words from her very heart. Oh, let me... Oh, I didn't see this! My dear, my sweet Aslan and Vlad. I was so happy to get a letter from you. I hope mine rejoices you no less. The guy shared a look with a chuckle. No less? A joy could be used as cannonballs for all the cannons on the field, firing it until the morning. Oh my gosh. They're so cute. That's right. Alexander got here without any trouble and stayed here for now. She's very sweet. I'm fine as well. The life at the palace goes on as always, though it's not the same without you, of course. Aslan puffed. Huh, of course it's not the same. What good is even there at the palace besides us? Fine, maybe baklava. And hot salip with a cinnamon and a soft bed. Aslan's voice got more and more crestfallen. And a hammam, the library, but most importantly, Lale. They both sighed sadly. I miss home and her so much. Aww. Babas. My food's at the door! And they send me a ton of messages. Tell me that. Thanks. I'll get it in a second. Yes, so do I. Okay, God, it's at the door. Lale was writing about the palace humdrum and trivial occurrences. She didn't mention meeting Hassan, not to alarm her friends in vain, but she decided to talk about something nice that would give them support away from home. Vlad, every day I draw with the coals you prepared for me before you left, and read the books you've recommended. Your calm and serious voice sounds in my thoughts, giving me hints and explanations. Aslan, I go to the stables and admire the saddle you've improved for me. You've upholstered it with soft leather and made it so comfy and pretty. I put my foot in the stirrup in the way you taught me, and it feels as if I sense the support of your strong and dependable hand. You're far away, but your care surrounds me, giving me warmth. I walk our paths in the garden, use our inner jokes in my thoughts. I really miss you and can't wait for you to return home, my dear friends. Oh, so sweet. I love this dot thing. Here. And it's like soft and it just goes away. It replaces that stupid hand that just stays there so you can get good time for good cutscenes. I mean, for good images. That's the best. They're awesome for that. They're super awesome for that. It's a very good update. What's happening here? Oh, just see. This is a chance to get a background picture. How nice is that? Alright. Makes getting images so much more easier. Okay, but nothing this later. Let me go pick up my food. Alright, okay. I'll eat in a minute. The boys have finished reading and fell silent for some time, smiling quietly. Isn't it a miracle that we have her? Oh my gosh, why are they so cute? Yeah, it's a true miracle. Then Aslan went to the camp and Vlad was left alone with a second letter. He opened the envelope and couldn't help but raise the letter to his face, breathing in the subtle fragrance of the one who wrote it. Lale. My dearest Vlad, if only you knew how priceless your gift is to me. Such beautiful earrings with stars. Not just regular jewels, but the ones you've chosen just for me. No one ever could find anything better. Vlad imagine how beautiful the earrings looked on Lale's delicate earlobe, framed by the cascade of her hair next to thin, dainty neck. Her fingertips tickled from the unbearable desire to touch and caress her. But the letter itself became an even greater gift. It revealed your feelings to me, and now I know what was hiding behind the ice of your beautiful blue eyes. You touched something important in my soul back when we just met. A captive, but unbroken and proud. Looking cold and aloof, but you stood up for the poor dog. Quiet, but you were the one who had something to say, much more than many others. I was enthralled by your mystery, but that wasn't just it. I lost my parents too. Maybe that's why I sensed your pain so sharply. I wanted so much to alleviate it, to show you that. There's life behind pain and death too. All it takes is to open up to it. And I was so glad to see you come back to life. Each smile was like a little victory. Thawing your eyes slowly, I was changing as well. That terrible day when the news about your family came, I followed you to help you. But suddenly, I found a new, surprising power in myself. You're not just a handsome and smart man who has swept me off my feet. With you and just you, I discover myself opening up, and I see the same thing going on with you. Next to each other, we both become stronger and more alive, more beautiful. Our love makes us this way. It can do so much. You know, I love when she makes this expression. Her eyes are just like sparkly. I remember your main goal, Vlad, to become an honest and strong ruler, to bring prosperity to your land. This is very beautiful, but let's not forget this ominous red moon in the back. Just keep that in mind. I know the way you are, and I'm sure you'll manage to do it whatever it takes, but I want to be next to you on this path and make it a bit lighter and easier for you. Vlad moved the letter away, feeling his breath getting shaky. If only it happens. He saw the pictures of his possible future with Lale, so beautiful, that he shook them away hurriedly, afraid to believe, to hope. With each new day, I long for you more and more, Vlad. I miss your hands caressing my face, warming up my entire body so much. Your eyes looking at me so seriously and tenderly. Flawlessly beautiful lips keeping hundreds of the hottest and sweetest kisses that I need to taste as soon as possible, otherwise I'll simply burn. More than anything, I want to fall asleep in your arms, to fill them until the dawn. To melt in your tenderness and wrap you in mine, filling every minute with it. I want us to have many, many nights like this, a whole long life. And I believe this is how it's going to be, because our love can overcome anything. Even time, like a lot of it. I have so much more words and feelings, but I'll keep them until you return, hopefully, very soon. Waiting for your return, loving and missing you endlessly. Your Lale. Oh. That's so sweet. My Lale. Yay! Vlad kept reading this letter and he fell asleep with it by his heart. He saw her, his beloved Lale, in his dreams. That's so sweet. Oh, Back to the Future. Oh no. I was enjoying the past. Okay. Let's see. When I opened my eyes, it was dark outside. I felt around for my phone. 5 a.m. Wednesday. I've slept for just several hours. I wonder how much time has passed in the dark world. Are Vlad and Noe back? I decided to go look, but first cleaned up. I took a shower and got dressed. Alright, what we got? Blazer dress. Interesting. A stylish look. Okay. Elegant flair. Okay. Or laconic. Also quite stylish. This is kind of calling to me. Oh, it's okay. This is interesting. I don't know how I feel about the bottom. If it doesn't matter, so I think I'm gonna go with this vibe right here. And set my hair. Stylish hairdo. Ooh, elegant hairdo. That's pretty. Iconic. That's alright, but that's super cute. Check her out. Finally, I was ready and I stepped out into the hallway. But hold on. Because as much as I love my necklaces, both of them are gold, so I think they might gotta go. Finally, I was ready to step out in the hallway. Neither Vlad nor Noah were in their rooms, so they're still not back. The next door was my sister's. Millie is still asleep, of course, but I'll look inside and check on her. However, her room was empty as well. I got nervous. Where is she at this hour? Maybe she stayed with Sandra? I was about to go there when I heard my sister's laughter. That's creepy. It was coming from the neighboring hallway and I hurried to the sound. I felt very uncomfortable. Darkness, the gloomy castle. It was empty and quiet around me and the melodic girly laughter coming from the darkness. I thought ineptly about my friend's empty rooms and a thought flashed in my mind. What if Leo and Sandra left and I'm all alone here? Fear started rising from my feet to my throat and I felt like running away. My sister's voice was up close, so I stopped and called out, Millie? Huh? Her beamy face appeared from around the corner and took a load off my mind. What are you doing here? Has Sandra allowed you to walk around yet? She hasn't, but staying in bed for so long is too much. I'm perfectly healthy. Look what I met here, by the way. Millie smiled mysteriously to someone behind the corner. Come on out, don't be afraid. It's my sister. No one showed up. I couldn't wait anymore and stepped forward and looked around behind the corner. Agnes? I don't understand the things she's saying, but we're still having fun. Well, I mean, that's good. We were holding hands like best friends. The girl was looking at Millie almost with admiration. Okay. So attentively, she didn't even notice me. It's Agnes. Oh, I'm loving this look. Guys, I'm loving this look. Agnes? So another mystical creature in the castle that everyone knows about except me? Come on. We told you the truth. Well, first of all, not everyone. I only know. And she hasn't talked to anyone except for you. My sister cheered up. Yeah, we kind of started trusting each other right away, right, Agnes? It's cool, Millie, but you should know that... You should know that. I didn't have time to warn her. Suddenly, admiration in Agnes's eyes turned into feral hunger. I don't understand these sudden, like, slips in Agnes. Like, what manner of being is she? My sister tried to yank her hand out frantically, but failed to. I have to cover Millie with myself, drag Agnes away, or get through to Agnes. Cover Millie with myself. That sounds like luck. Dragging Agnes away. Bravery. Get through to Agnes. That can either be bravery or luck, but getting through to her is kind of like a Hail Mary, so I could be luck. And I do need luck. Because I've taken a couple bravery choices earlier in this episode. Nice. Let me write this down though. 1 second. Agnes, don't. Remember how you attacked me the last time? You were very sad afterwards. Let's talk and figure out how to help you. Agnes let go of my sister's hand. Think about it. There you go. Good girl. Maybe don't talk to her like a dog. But she immediately slid across the floor and lunged forward. The next moment, her half-transparent head bumped into my sister's chest and got in, completely sinking inside. Hello? Millie! Her entire body started pulling in afterwards, the neck, the shoulders. Millie started shivering and I froze, shocked by what I saw. Miss Melody, step away. If you do something to my sister, we're gonna have a problem. I don't trust you. The young man rushed out of the neighboring hallway and got to us in a matter of seconds. He stretched his arms forward and started circling around the girls. With that, he kept saying something in a sing-song voice. It was helping. Slowly, Agnes was pulling herself back out of my sister and gaining her usual look. Agnes, why did you do that, honey? Finally, she got separated from Millie entirely, closed her eyes, and fell into Yeston's arms. You have some explaining to do, like right now. And I caught my sister, whose legs gave way as well. Oh, Melody, what happened? What happened is Justin has some explaining to do. About why he didn't warn us about how to talk to Agnes. What do you think we were gonna do? Well, I guess he doesn't know that we know a lot about supernatural stuff, I suppose. But what about the ritual thing? And it was, you know what? I get that he doesn't trust Vlad, and which is stupid. Sandra and Leah ran to us, helping me hold Millie. Oh, sis. I need to lay her down. That way, to the office. Why? To do what? I don't trust him. Dustin's office consisted of 2 adjoined rooms. Sandra, Leah, and I were sitting in the first one by Millie's side. We laid her down on the sofa. She was unconscious, but according to Sandra, safe and sound. Dustin took Agnes to the second room. My friends listened to my rambling story. If we put everything in order, here's what we see. The day you arrived at the castle, the black-hooded figures, Sarians, set up a ritual here. Agnes was chosen to be a victim. A part of her energies was taken away from her. She became sick and hurt, and she needed to refill her energy. So first she attacked me in the garden, and then Millie today. Oh, because she needs some energy. Well, see, if you had told us about this, we could have done something to help her get some energy safely. Surely there's a way. That's right. I didn't let her go out for a reason. Her wound, the evil snare, closed up on her body. But energetically speaking, Millie was still very vulnerable, very open. Agnes' spirit couldn't resist, and she almost got into Millie's unprotected body. So Justin stopped her with the spell? I guess it was more of a prayer. Banishing evil spirits? Protecting. A protective prayer. The door creaked and Justin appeared in the door frame. We all turned to him, surprised. I used to live at my mentor's for some time. He was a priest. That's when I learned it. And there I saw things like Agnes for the first time. Excuse me? Where was it? In a small village in the Carpathians. You know, there are special places there. You can see all sorts of stuff. So many priests and normal villagers know prayers like these. Leo, Sandra, and I shared a look, not sure what to say. Finally, I asked, Justin, why did you end up in this castle? Because I was invited to work with the archive. By Sotet, I knew a person who met evil spirits in the Carpathians ended up in a castle with evil spirits. Completely by accident, without any other reason or goal. He answered without any hesitation. Yes, completely by accident. My only goal was work, and I was surprised as much as you upon seeing Agnes. It sounded very strange, but Justin was speaking so candidly and calmly that I found it hard to doubt. Well, to be fair, it's all kind of coincidental that we're all here too, so someone could have placed him here. Just like us, putting all these pieces together. By the way, she's feeling better now, and Agnes is very eager to talk to you, Miss Melody. To me? Yes, she only speaks Hungarian, though, but I can translate for you. Do you agree? Well, alright, let's do it. Won't she attack again, as long as she stops being spooky? Won't she attack again? Usually being scared indicates luck. Alright, let's do it. Seems brave. We've done two, I can't remember how many we've done. I don't want to say as long as she stops being sneaky. I mean, that's true. But, I mean, she can't help it. She didn't do it on purpose. Listen. She didn't do it on purpose. Let's start out. Let's do it. Okay, it is perjury. Let me write that down. Let's see. Actually, I was trying to do that from the start. Justin guided Agnes to us, holding her by her elbow, and helped her sit in an armchair. She really looked better, though she seemed very guilty. I assume she also doesn't have control. Agnes started speaking quietly, and Justin took to translating. She's apologizing for what has happened, and she says she must pass along something to you. From this castle's owner. Oh, please. She's asking for your hand to show you. Lord! I reached out for her with my hand, and our fingers touched. "20 years ago. A man wearing a nondescript coat counted the money. 20 years ago, I was a little girl. A man wearing a nondescript coat counted the money, bid his goodbye to the owner, and left the office. And Baron Sotet took to watching through the pictures. The man left with a smile. Agnes looked out of the next room and approached him. So? Yes, it's her. I'm not mistaken. All the details confirm it. He had me watch to make sure? The picture showed a girl about 4 years old. Yeah. That's me. Walking with her parents, playing on the lawn in front of her house, sitting by the window in her room. He'll deliver her here by 11 p.m. and we'll finally make sure. Although I'm already sure. She has the missing link in her. A scientist's ardor, he took to explaining to Agnes something she'd heard numerous times before. The manuscript describes it clearly, and I interpreted it right the right way. The mistake was that each type of darkness has its own special element of counteraction. Locking up the demons, Jedediah picked up an individual key to all of them. She's the key, the antidote to Dracula's darkness, and the liberation is possible only with her help. The Baron tapped his fingers on the desk, agitated. Agnes, please prepare toys and sweets. I want her to be comfortable. Yes, Armin, but I'm worried. It's child abduction. You might have problems. He'll do it such that she won't understand anything. In the morning, her parents will find her in her own bed, safe and sound. That's creepy. And she'll tell them she saw a wonderful dream. He took some folders from the desk and started going through them. The will is ready. It will get to her in exactly 20 years. By that time, according to the prophecy, they will have met already. There's a whole prophecy? Where? The plate with the clue is hidden in the chapel. Yeah, okay, we found that. And when she turns to you, you'll still hear the transcribed manuscript. Hey, where's it at? In 20 years, you'll be able to give her the manuscript and tell her everything yourself. My dear, maybe. Or maybe not. We don't know. What happened to him? A human life is brittle and fleeting, unlike yours. Agnes hugged him from behind, pressing her head against his shoulder. That's why I'm so sad. How would I go on without you? Maybe, after all... No, dear. You know that I've decided a long time ago. Oh, she was going to turn him into something that was not human. With all its fragility, normal human life has its own charms. There's nothing like them. Please, don't start this conversation again. Agnes got up sharply and turned to the window. There was a tremble in her voice that she fought to hide. But why do you have to do it in such a hurry? The will, the plate, the instructions. You surely have enough time for it. I just like order and doing everything beforehand. It's a habit. I still understand why would you do it at all? What's so special about the story of some people from the 15th century that you found in the Ottoman consulate archives a long time ago? Why did it touch you so much? Because it's astonishing, unique. As a scientist studying the manifestation of mystical things in our world, I'm simply happy it got to me. For many years, the story has been inspiring me to research. And it ruined your life, according to your own words. In a sense, yes. Still, I have no regrets. Otherwise, I wouldn't have met you, wouldn't have solved these wonderful mysteries. I'm grateful, and I wish happiness for them. The ones who never got it almost 6 centuries ago. Agnes, promise me you'll do as I ask. That you'll point out to her where the manuscript is kept, with a detailed description of the ritual of liberation from the darkness. Whatever happens, do you promise? Fine, I promise. She ended up keeping her promise. She just had some struggles along the way because she was hungry. Poor thing. Okay, so I'm just hoping that he just died from old age or something. Ooh, so much more bravery than luck. Okay. Next episode, only luck choices. Only luck choices. Let me write it down. I have 62 bravery. 58 luck. Alright. So, I'm gonna eat. And then we'll come back and finish and do episode 7. Alright, and we back. Episode 7. I had my dinner. I'm feeling very much happier. Okay, now let's figure out what's going on. Uh-oh, we have a warning. Story contains things that may be disturbing for some readers. Please proceed with caution. Chapter 7, Solomon's Ritual. Agnes, promise you'll point out to her where the manuscript is kept, whatever happens. She promised. Yeah, and okay. Now we're back. I yanked my hand back and looked around, waking up. Did you see something? Yes, a memory about this castle's owner. Agnes used to live here with him, and I think she wasn't human back then already. The girl looked down, and her gaze turned dim with sadness. It was Baron Sotet who left the copper plate in the chapel and the manuscript. I glanced at Yeston, reluctant to talk about the darkness and liberation in his presence. It contains very important information. We have to find it. Agnes, let's be nice. She smiled. But her smile was weary and strangely anxious. She wanted to get up, but immediately sank back into the armchair. I think Agnes is too weak to go anywhere now. But can she possibly describe where we need to go? I mean, that'd be a little bit helpful. Maybe she'll just tell you, and you'll look for it yourselves? Yeah. Alright, we can do that. I'll write it down so we don't mix anything up. Smart. Leo took a piece of paper and a pen from the desk, and we all looked at Agnes. But she was silent, clearly having doubts. Finally, as if getting through her inner resistance, the girl pulled out a thread around her neck. She took a small key, dark from time, off her chest and gave it to me. She says it's a key to the vault. You could find the manuscript there. Agnes took to explaining, and Yosta started translating. Millie turned around and moaned without opening her eyes. Sandra and I took to calming her down and positioning her more comfortably. So I only heard what Justin was explaining as background noise, but Leo calmed me down. Don't worry, I have everything written down. We're good to go. How's Millie? Can you give me a review anyway? Let me read that. What if we get separated? She's fine, but she'll have to recover a bit. Let's carry her to her room. Yes, let's. I'll stay with her, and Leo and you can go look for the manuscript. But suddenly, Agnes shook up and called me. Melody. Looking at me right now, she started saying something emotionally, painfully. I couldn't understand everything, but her speech was so mesmerizing I couldn't look away. When she finished talking, I turned to look to Justin. He was looking at her, mesmerized as well. Oh, I wish I learned Hungarian back when I was young. It's a beautiful language, but very complex. Not a single familiar word. So, what did she say? Justin shook his head, chasing the days away. She said she loved the owner of the castle, and that she's been miserable ever since he died. Oh, Agnes, I'm so sorry. She got paler and wrapped her arms around her shoulders, shivering. What do we do with her? Can we help her in any way? I'll brew a restorative remedy later. For now, she needs rest. Leave her here. I'm working here all the time now. I'll keep an eye on her. Maybe when Agnes feels better, she'll help me figure out the mess in some documents. Agnes, what do you say? Will you stay? Sandra will make you the remedy later. She nodded, closed her eyes, and dozed off. We carried Millie to her room. Sandra stayed with her, and Leo and I went to get the manuscript. Huh. According to Agnes, it was kept in the castle's vault archive. A dark, half-abandoned passage was leading there. It was damp inside. The ceiling, covered in big cracks, seemed to be about to fall. Something sloshed under our feet every now and then. Oh. Are you okay? Yeah, I'm just getting these shoes wet. Yeah, let's just go faster. Finally. We made it to the vault entrance. Agnes's key opened the lock easily, but the door seemed to have grown into the frame because of time. Even Leo with his strength had to make an effort to open it. But finally, we were in. It was surprisingly warm and dry inside. On hundreds of shelf stands, there were thousands of documents, scrolls, books. There's so much here. It would take several lifetimes to read it all. Leo gave me the piece of paper with his notes. The instructions are pretty peculiar here, but let's figure it out. I read the first line. Okay. Let me get some notes. To find the roll, you need to walk 2 hair leaps to the right from the entrance. How much is 2 hair leaps? Okay. So let's write that down. 2 hair leaps. Right. How much is a hair leap? Okay. 10 feet. So about 20 feet. Okay. Um, 20 feet. Wait, okay. I just had a thought. It says 10 feet, but it also says 3 meters. And I believe everyone else in the world uses meters. And this is European. So maybe we should also keep that in mind. Okay. So we're looking for 3 or 10. Okay. What's next? Hair leaps? What kind of measure of length is that? I know, right? But Agnes didn't know any others. Well, I think the length of one hair leap is almost 10 feet. But there's 3. European. I don't think it's more, but it would have been 3 meters. And we need 2 leaps, so, 6 feet? You mean 6? Well, let's try. Leo took several big steps, counting. 1, 2, 5, 6. I think that's the way. Look, there are a lot of scrolls here. But it said 3 feet. Maybe they meant 3 meters. Maybe it's a translation error. Maybe. I'm glad I went with European, dude. Dude. Seriously? Oh, okay. Read on. What's the next clue? That's crazy. I can't believe you have to think in terms of that. The stands are divided by time periods. Find the one with the Middle Ages documents. Middle Ages? Okay. It says about 500 to 14 to 1500 CE. I leaned down looking at the shelves. The ages on the plates were written in Roman numerals. Okay. 5 to 10, 5, 16. That does say 16. Did I say the 15 or 16? I think they said 15 or 16. But it doesn't want to start from the 5th. So I think this is the only one that could be right. It definitely didn't say anything about the 20th century. For sure. And nothing with a 9. Some sources disagree about a century or 2, but it's about that. They did say it was a century or 2. I got my bravery. We're trying to be getting luck. Ugh. Good thing you know for sure. I've always been confused about it. Oh, you get bravery and luck. Okay. My profession requires me to know it. After all, I work with antique things. The stack we needed contained hundreds of various scrolls, just rolled up pages or in tubes of leather and cloth. It says the manuscript is kept in a burgundy tube of brocade. Okay. Refresh my memory what brocade is. Because last time when we were doing a ritual, we had to know. Burgundy tube of brocade. Okay. That's what I thought it was, but I wasn't certain. Look at the shelves again. Brocade is... It looked like this in the picture. Or silver. It's very durable and is the best choice for a case dressing. I didn't even have a doubt about you, know it. You're so clever. Well, let's look for it. Okay, we got 2 more plates. They well with these. They well with these. It took us some time to go through multiple documents on different shelves, but finally I saw a scroll fitting the description in the corner. My heart trembled. Leo, look, I think it's it. Leo hurried to me and helped me open the tube carefully. There was a small car on the edge of it. You found it, Miss Burnell. Congratulations. Yes, hooray! Congratulations indeed. We decided to study the document at a more comfortable place and left the archive. I wonder what else kind of secrets are in here. That'll be interesting. Millie was asleep and Sandra, Leo, and I went to my room so that we didn't wake her up. We unfolded the manuscript at the table. Its top part was written in an ancient language. It must be the original. Below it there was a detailed transcription in English. Before it there was the author's foreword. Okay, let's get some lore. According to the legend, King Solomon, aka Jedediah, sealed 72 of the strongest demons in a copper jar. Like one copper jar? But how could a very wise man, but still a man, beat such mighty dark powers? I was lucky to find the answer. You know, his facial expressions remind me of someone. You know what it is? His facial expressions and like face reminds me of the Cells in the Fog. Her father, Adelaide's father. He reminds me of him. I don't know why. During one of my first trips to the East, I brought an ancient manuscript from a vagabond, allegedly written by the great king himself. Of course, neither me nor the seller believed it, so I got it for several pennies. But once, I decided to study it out of curiosity, and I was astonished. Everything pointed out to be being the original. Aiming to keep the valuable knowledge from random people, the wise king enciphered it. The code was of incredible difficulty and beauty, but years later, I managed to solve it. You see the work of half of my life here. The detailed description of the ritual of sealing the dark forces from King Solomon himself. I had to adapt some things. For example, I calculated that it's better to use a bigger vessel rather than a jar for the darkness we're dealing with. The copper pillars from the castle chapel were perfect for it. Did you seal something in the chapel? I used one of them, Jachin, for my experiment, and you want to use Boas. And of course, the main thing for the ritual is the element of counteraction. In our case, the special light, the full antipode of this darkness. It's hidden in you, my dear lady. You're the only one who can liberate the man you care about from the age-old darkness. The ritual of liberation. I looked down at his description, but it was just as confusing to me as the enciphered part. Schemes, planets, Sandra, maybe you can figure it out? Let's see. Sandra studied the manuscripts for a long time and then said, the books I read on the Ninka's advice mention complex rituals that require a lot of power. But this one is a great example of everything genius being simple. The technique itself is simple, but only a great wise mind could read it. All you have to do is to get it into the right cycle of planets, and it will be showing our finger across the line, checking something. Tomorrow night is the perfect position. Otherwise, we have to wait for another one like this for a long time. Tomorrow? What luck? Or not. I felt my heart skip a beat. Sandra, so what you're saying is that tomorrow we can liberate Vlad from his darkness? The one he's been living with for 6 centuries? Yes, if what it says here is right, everything must work out. I sat down, trying to wrestle my worry. Melody, what's wrong? Are you having doubts? Yesterday, going to the dark world, I was sure and ready, but you don't know. Memphis, the one Vlad had struck his dark deal with, is loose now. I told him about what had happened in the Sleepy Bear and the prison break and the stolen artifact. I see now. Breaking free of his darkness, Vlad will lose his special power as well, most likely. Yes, and if Memphis wants to retaliate, he won't be able to protect himself. I'll still have my light. Vlad will be able to protect himself, or we will all be in danger. I wanted to set the last one increase with all of my buddies. The second one is obviously an improvement with Vlad. The first one sounds super selfish. I don't think she would say that at all. I don't know. Kind of lean in towards the second one for like a full guaranteed relationship. I wonder. If it's like a group choice, like a friend choice. Those are also good. Let's try that. Any of us could be his target, at least because we're the friends of his enemy. Everyone you're fighting with. Yes. And now he's very strong with the artifact. Yes, but we're not helpless either. Sandra has the gift. You had the light. Noah has power, and I'm also strong. I think you're like the chosen one. I think your sword has special powers. I feel like you're right, Leo. And still, it's a very complex decision whether to get rid of the darkness or to keep it. Only Vlad can make it. Yes, so we should wait for him. True. The rest of the day went by without any special events. I spent almost all the time by my sister. Sandra was making the remedy for Agnes. Leo was helping Henry with his work. Apparently, Henry had already moved into the castle. He was feeling very guilty and was still asking for Leo's advice on everything. I need to give this man a break. I really should, but I'm just like, get out. As the night wore on, I saw that Millie was feeling better and went to my room. I was about to take a shower when someone knocked on my door. Good evening. May I? Yes, finally. I've been worried about you too. What about Noah? Is he back as well? No, he remains in the dark world for now. Noah's the only relative deceased, and now he has a lot of stuff to sort out. I see. Anything new about Memphis? No traces or clues for now. There was a slight hint of worry in Vlad's voice, but he suppressed it and smiled. How are you guys doing? Is everything okay? I almost choked up with excitement. Vlad, we found a way to liberate you from your darkness, and we can do it tomorrow already. It's like, what? After hearing my story out, Vlad paused to think. The games of fate. Just as I thought the liberation was close, it slipped away. And the moment I decided the chance was lost, a new one came from a completely unexpected source. Yes, it's so surprising. So Ted has spent half of his life to help people he didn't know, and his message was passed on to us by the ghost girl. I should talk to her when she feels better. You'll probably succeed more than this. You know Hungarian, right? Yes, I do. Vlad, I read in history books that you spent 10 years in a Hungarian prison. 12 years. It was clear to be a heavy memory for him, so I changed the subject. I'm also worried about Justin. It's so strange that a person who used to live in the Carpathians ended up here on accident. What if he knows something about you? Justin told me he never lied, but those words could be a lie too. I don't think he's a liar. I sense when people aren't honest, and I haven't seen anything about honesty in him. Yeah, I remember. The first time I was trying to be nice by keeping something scary about you from my sister and stuff, and he got super mad. Besides, he hasn't done anything bad so far. On the contrary, he's been helping us. I mustered my courage and returned to the main question. Vlad, so what about the liberation ritual? On one hand, you've been waiting for this opportunity for so long, but on the other, rejecting the darkness, I might endanger us all. And there's also the third side, the most important to me. It's you. You've been waiting for my liberation so eagerly for us to become closer. If safety is the price, I'd rather wait. The darkness is not safety, it's disaster and destruction. I think that depends, like everything else, I think it depends on the user. Melody, of course, I'll make the decision myself, but it's important for me to know your opinion. We must believe in darkness is probably bravery. We're still trying to get more luck, so we should wait more, or my opinion shouldn't influence yours. It shouldn't, but he did say he was gonna make his own decision. He just wanted to know what my decision was. Honestly, I think everything's been handed to us on a platter, and I feel like there's this whole business with Memphis. It's not gonna be as simple as that. Like it'll just be gone tomorrow, and if it is gone tomorrow, I feel like that's also a setup. Because while this guy was pulling strings to get us all together, we can't forget that there's also been the hooded person also pulling strings to get us all in the same place. So, and now we possibly consider that the hooded person is Memphis. But then now we also have to consider this new threat, the devil that they said in Sleepy Baron. Or maybe people are just calling Memphis the devil. Because we don't know how long he's been running around in the adamant skin. Which is creepy to think about. We should wait. I wouldn't risk it when everything is so unstable and unclear. You want liberation to gain a normal human life. But Memphis might not let you enjoy it. Yes, that's possible. Thank you, Melody. There's still time until tomorrow. I'll leave this night for myself to think and decide in the morning. Okay, that's fair. Vlad, step closer to me. Melody, why don't we come to me? I'd like you to sleep by my side tonight as well. Sure, I'd love to. I just need some time to clean up and I'll come. Alright, I'll be waiting. Vlad left. I took a shower. Once I was ready, I opened the door to step out, but a figure flickered past me. Upon noticing me, it stopped and returned to the door. Oh. Ah, Bambi. Hi. I love that this is his theme song. No, I thought you stayed behind in the dark world. I did, but there's a super boring meeting now, so I escaped for a while. I needed a distraction. I ran by to pick something up and to get to a musical in time. They say it's a pretty decent one, loosely based on storybooks, but an adaptation for adults. Noah wiggled his eyebrows with meaning. I've never heard of anything like that. Well, I don't think you follow the premieres in Amsterdam. It's a bit too far away for you, but only a couple of minutes for me. By the way, help me out with something. I want to change my look to something more fit for the occasion, but I need an opinion from someone who's an expert. Ooh, new clothes? So I'm an expert? He rolled his eyes. Don't fish for compliments. Of course you are if I'm asking you. He started snapping fingers and his outfit started changing. I decided that... Woo! Hello? Stylish? Interesting. Huh. It's cute, but I don't think it quite suits him. It's all like, no, we're gonna change it. So I'm fine with this. I like this. No, he looked at himself. Oh, I agree. That's the best one. Thanks, Melody. Hey! He glanced at his watch, and he's actually wearing one. Alright, I gotta go. By the way, Melody, if anyone asks about me, you haven't seen me, okay? I got you. Why? Sorry, running late, no time to explain. He's totally shirking his duties. He spread his hands and disappeared immediately, leaving me without a clue. I only shrugged and went to Vlad. Oh my god. Vlad met me by the door, but when I entered, I noticed an open book in the armchair. Were you reading? Oh. This man. Turtleneck. I need you to stop. Oh. Yes, it helps me to sort my thoughts out. I think I should. Yeah. I approached the fireplace. Then, may I sit with you here? Of course. That's why I asked you to come, to be together. He moved the armchairs close to the fire and we sat down. The quiet and mysterious atmosphere of this room have a magical effect on me every time. Warmth and calm were filling me. Or maybe it wasn't the room, it was its owner. His energy and care were surrounding me even if we were just sitting next to each other quietly. I outstretched my always cold hand to the fire, and Vlad, even though he had opened the book, didn't read it, admiring me. I caught his gaze, smiled, and nodded at the book in his hands. Is it in Romanian? Read to me, please. I love listening to how your voice sounds in your mother tongue. All right, but it's a book of poems. Oh, even better. Romanian poetry is something magical. Yes, I disagree. Vlad flipped through the book and stopped at a page. I moved closer in anticipation. Here. The author is Nicitas or I can't pronounce it. A Romanian poet of the 20th century. I like many of his poems. But this one just might be my favorite. Vlad started reading the original almost without looking into the book, clearly knowing the lines by heart. As if enchanted, I was watching the movement of his lips, sinking into the sounds of his velvety voice. As per usual, he remained reserved on the outside. The hurricane of emotion was raging only in his eyes. Vlad was living through each line. And then I heard the translation. Medieval letter. I carried the pyramids of limestone, but not for them to become walls. Carried the words of my language, but not for them to be said by mouths. We're the same, my love. Only the stones have changed, only the herbs. The Lord of this place is violet, silence, and carpenter's glue, which we'll use to mend broken arms and wounds. But we, my love, are the same, and the others don't know that our soul have returned from a journey through the world of pairs, one by one, tree by tree, stone by stone, herb by herb. After the last line, Vlad fell silent. Oh. And I was silent too, because it was my turn to be crushed with emotion. It's about us. Every word. How come a poet of the 20th century described us past and us present so precisely? It's the power of true poetry. Many people read it across the years and realize it's about them. I saw in the past how Vlad and Lale, how we were making our first plans for our life together. You wanted me to leave with you, and so did I. I wanted to be with you, to support you, to love. But in my vision, Sota said we never found happiness in the Ottoman Empire. Could it be true? I didn't expect an answer, but I was hoping to read it in Vlad's eyes, and it was there. Not comforting at all. These dreams had to wait for their hour for 6 centuries. But now we're as close to fulfilling them as ever. My whole body was pierced with sharp ache and unbearable longing to press myself against him, to hug him so tightly, to comfort us both, to feel, to believe that we really were next to each other. That dream of those innocent and beautiful children still living in us was really about to be fulfilled. My body didn't even try to make it true. It seemed to be chained. Suddenly, I realized it had already become a habit to withdraw my hands, to pull back, to prohibit myself. That way we avoided physical pain. But we were unable to pull the hearts back from each other to avoid hurting them, and they were bleeding slowly. For how long will we have to mend broken arms and wounds? Is there an end to it? What if one day there's nothing to mend anymore? Melody. My pain reflected in his eyes. He leaned forward to me, like a wild beast forgetting he's caged and jumping high and free as he used to. But the bar was still there between us. Vlad froze inches away from me and moved his hands away. I whispered, "No, we can't." He got up sharply as if he remembered something. "Hold on, I have..." Vlad disappeared behind the walk-in wardrobe and returned with a small box. Inside there were new men's gloves, very thin and delicate leather, and still thick enough to protect his hands. Vlad put them on and outstretched his hands to me. I put my palms in his and he held them tenderly and firmly. I haven't decided about the ritual yet, but I know for sure what I want now. To make you feel better and happier, even if for a bit. But for that, I need to know what you want. Tell me, Melody, as it is. I want you to dress aggressive ways. Well, but only if you wanted to. His eyes lit up in a way that didn't need any other words. He pulled me by my hand to the bed. Let's go. We sat down. Sudden music change. We sat down on the bed very close, opposite of each other. I saw his eyes right in front of me. There was calm power in his gaze. I don't think I've ever heard this song before. I'm trying to think. I think I have. It's probably because we never had like a really like intense romantic scene with Vlad. I don't know. It was holding me and giving me freedom, exciting me and calming me down. Next to it, there was no place for fear, embarrassment, or awkwardness, because it was the power of my beloved man, next to whom everything was right and appropriate. One of his hands, protected by a glove, touched my face, running along its contours. The second one glided down my neck, across the collarbones and lower, softly barely touching me at first, then pushing tenderly, making my skin respond with bigger and bigger shivers. The hand met the first obstacle close and pulled it down. The other hand came to his aid. Slowly, without any hurry, Vlad's hand stripped me of my clothes. It started caressing me again, my shoulders, my chest. The leather of the gloves was soft and pleasant that, as I closed my eyes for a moment, I could easily believe there was no obstacle at all, that it was just his fingers, so beautiful, so beloved by me. The thought of it enhanced the sensation from the touches, and I sighed unwittingly. Vlad caught this sigh and moved further. The broad straps guided by his fingers slid down and hung above my shoulders, revealing my chest to him almost entirely as it was rising in response to each of his moves. But then, the lingerie was gone as well, and nothing was in his way. He saw me as I was. I felt hot. I longed to be in his arms entirely, to melt with stronger touches, but Vlad suddenly pulled back. Just a moment. A vial appeared in his hands, and I smelled a delicate fragrance of some oil. Vlad's palm pushed me slightly, making me lay down. There you go. The bronze, shimmering liquid flowed into his palm in a thin rivulet. Soon, it was flowing over my body. Vlad guided the oil across my stomach with his fingers, up to my chest, circling around it, pressing softly. Then down to my stomach, almost to the very bottom, making me tense, my thighs inadvertently and arched towards him. It was pure bliss, the soft glide. His careful, strong hands everywhere on my body, and the gaze full of fire and tenderness, catching each of my reactions. I got lost in these sensations, and my body was burning, and there was no possibility or need to hide my gasps and moans. I was on the edge. Vlad was sliding by the most sensitive spots, never touching them directly. But he didn't have to. Now, all of my skin, each tiny cell of it, was a big sensitive spot. I didn't expect it, and I didn't strive for it, but at some point the decisions got impossibly sharp, and another touch, too close to the coveted spot. Oh boy. Made all the tension that I'd accumulated lately rise and pour out in a powerful wave, rocking my body. The peak was overwhelming, and the sensation lasted and lasted. I was shivering in Vlad's hands, and he was caressing me gently, calming me down, letting me have it, waiting for the shivers in my body to subside, to go to the sweet bliss of calm delight. Are you pleased with yourself? And then he took me to the shower and helped me wash the oil off, and it was another relaxing pleasure. After that, I fell into bed and simply lay down next to Vlad. Full of easiness and joy, I was admiring his face and his smile. I'd fall asleep like that, but after a while, I decided to go check on my sister again. Vlad wanted to come with me, but I asked him to stay so that I could join him in the warm bed when I returned. I walked out of the room briskly. Well then. The castle was very quiet this hour, but suddenly I heard voices coming from the hall. Uh-oh. I didn't expect to see you here. What a joy, what an honor. I'll tell the masters immediately. There's no need, Mary. I wasn't gonna bother anyone, just a small visit on a business. Oh, hell no. Oh, no. Anything they're gonna get away with it because they're... Oh, no. I don't blame the... Miriam. She probably not... She's just a sweet... She's just a sweet girl, just not even unsuspecting. This person is using her. Using their relationship. Who is this? Had a longish hair? Maybe the mayor's wife. Remember that lady? She was super sketch. She was super sketch. I don't trust her. I couldn't resist walking further and peeking into the hall cautiously. Oh, never mind. Not sketch. Just weirdly. Oh yeah, he's missing like the markings on his face and stuff. He must be looking for Noe. He ran. How are you doing, sweetie? Do you like it in the human world? Wait. How does he know Miriam? It's Council Septentrion in a human guise. I like it so much. I'm so grateful to Masters Noe and Vlad that they let me. There's so many colors and tastes. She's from the dark world. She's not human. Learn from how to brew tea from fresh berries. It's so delicious. Do you want to try it? The counselor smirked good-naturedly. It's impossible to resist it. Seeing the way you're talking about it. Alright, I'll try it. But please bring an additional cup. I think Miss Melody would want some too. Busted! He turned around and landed his bracing gaze at the spot I was standing at. Oh, how did he notice? It'd be weird if he didn't. Isn't that right, my lady? Would you like to have a cup of berry tea with me? I would love to. Thank you very much. Suggestion was too intriguing for me to resist. Miriam ran to get the tea, and the counselor and I sat down on the sofa. Vlad's probably in her room, like, where is she at? Fatima was silent, looking at me with curiosity and obvious delight. Hi. Truth be told, I couldn't take my eyes off him either. I didn't notice you also had a human guise. Didn't know I make it? Yes, I used to make bodies a long time ago, but he's exceeded me at it considerably. And I always choose the best. Well, your student has done a wonderful job, but I'm sure there is merit to be given to the teacher as well. The counselor laughed. Such a fine compliment, a double one at that. My lady, you are dangerous. Is that a bad thing? What is this fit? Wait, are we flirting? What is happening? It's a wonderful thing. I have to admit, dangerous women are my weakness. What did I walk into? And if it wasn't for my deepest fondness for Vlad, I'd steal you from him, I suppose. I'm sorry. Surely we haven't just stumbled upon a new love interest. Nah. He's just being cheeky. He's being cheeky. Surely not. It's too late in the story. It's too late in the story. That was a joke, of course. Okay, they're just teasing us. I know there's some fans of him out there and probably mad about that. No one in their sound mind who treasures their life would ever steal the beloved woman from the one possessing such darkness. Counselor, if you were him, would you get rid of such power? Get rid? Septentrion knew right away it wasn't either question, and I needed someone's wise advice, so I told him about the manuscript and the ritual. He listened to me with astonishment and said after some consideration, Memphis is gone. It's not possible to break the deal anytime soon, or maybe ever. So if Vlad truly wants liberation, I wouldn't miss this chance if I was him. But what about the danger? What if Memphis attacks? Trust me, the powers of the Dark World, and not only that world, will keep an eye on the situation. But then again, no one realized that he was added in Procure this whole time. So I don't know about that. The figures and the stakes that have entered the game are too big now. But it is true that a lot of people know. But if it's possible to make human guises and bodies, then is it not possible that maybe Memphis stumbled upon a way to do it the same? It stands to reason that that's a thing. So, he doesn't always have to look like Adam and Procule. He might also have some human guys and could be walking around somewhere on Earth and not in the Dark World anymore. Which means he's probably the hooded figure that was walking around making people do stuff like Mihal. If Memphis is not an idiot, and he's not, he keep as far away from Vlad as possible and lie low. Yeah, because he doesn't have to be near. He's apparently been tweaking in the shadows. This person and that person, at least for now. And by the way, my advice to you, hide this manuscript very well. Oh. Yeah, because basically it's a recipe for stealing dark powers. That's not good. Because a lot of our friends come from there. And once again, what is Mary? Mary returned with the tray, but didn't want to stay with us, and soon it was just the two of us again. My conversation partner poured the tea, gave one cup to me gallantly, and sipped from the other one. His eyes closed in bliss. Ah, yes. Earth's pleasures are second to none. Do you come here for them often? Not as often as I would like to. Work. What brings you to us today? The counselor assumed a pointedly casual tone. I need to discuss something with Noe. By the way, do you happen to know where he is? I froze in confusion. I didn't want to turn him in, but I didn't feel like lying either. The counselor's eyes were like an x-ray. He paused and then said, "Let me save you the trouble. I know you saw him and talked to him." Just tell me where he is now. I got seriously nervous. Counselor, what's going on? Why did you come for Noe here, and why did he escape you? He sighed. Noe's trying to escape the inevitable. What do you mean? I don't know if you know, but the post of an addendum is hereditary in the Dark World. He has to become an addendum? So Noe... Yes, Addendum Procule is dead. The Dark World needs a new addendum. And his grandson, Noe, is the only heir. Right now, he was supposed to be at the council in this pandemonium to give his answer. But as you know, he never got there. That's why I was sent here. If Noe doesn't want to be an addendum, why can't he just go to them and say no? Until now, there was a balance between the addendums. If Noe says no, his place will be taken by a representative of a dangerous, belligerent party. The balance will be tipped, and the other sensible decretors don't want to let it happen. And we're trying to get Noe to say yes, but he's been postponing the decision. Counselor, I won't tell you where Noe is, but he's not here at the castle anymore. Well, thank you for being honest, and for the nice chat too. I mean it. It's been a while since I've enjoyed a conversation. Well, the demon got up. Mr. Septentrion, what will happen if Noe agrees to become an addendum? It will change a lot for him. An addendum's role is like ministry. One has to give himself to it entirely. I don't think there will be any space in his life for friends or other kinds of relationships. Well, is that fully true? I mean, because obviously these addendums have families. That's how they have heirs to pass on the line to. So, I don't see that is necessarily true. And Addendum Procule, the only reason he didn't turn Carnarvon in was because his friend was Cronus. And so therefore, friend. And he had a daughter, so he had a wife or some sort of lover. So I don't know. That's particularly true. It's meant to sound like an obstacle, but like for the people who are dating Noe, I don't really think it is. The counselor said goodbye and left the castle. In the morning, Sandra, Leo, and Vlad and I gathered at the terrace to have breakfast and discuss our plans further. But the moment we sat at the table, we heard Miriam's voice. She was taking someone to us. Thank you, Miss. Dugan, what's up? Good morning, Mr. Dugan. Glad to see you. Miriam offered the coffee to the commissioner, but he declined. The moment she left, he said, I brought news. Ruthven was found tonight. Please tell me he's alive. We don't have time. Is he alive? Alas, he's dead. Let me guess. Nella and her stupid chromies are going to try to plant it on Vlad and say it was because he got here and he went missing when he was here. And right after what's the name? Ruthven is an idiot. And he was probably murdered by Memphis. His body was discovered in one of the stone wells of the old lumber mill very close from here over the bridge. A well? Like the ones that the girls were locked into. And there was still some handsome stranger who saw them. I thought it was Nosferatu. It could have been Ruthven then. And he was looking for someone, and whoever he was looking for killed him. And excuse me, I'm not sure if the details are appropriate. He glanced at a still untouched breakfast. No, please, say as it is. Ruthven was mauled cruelly, completely devoid of blood. Oh, come on. Come on. Seriously. And of course they're going to say that was Vlad's doing. Really? There are traces of claws of an unknown beast on his body, and all blood seems to be drained or sucked out. Anybody could do that, especially when they suspect him as a vampire. They probably jammed a needle in his body, just like medical people could do that easily. I don't believe it. In the corner of my eye, I could see Vlad getting pale with each commissioner's word, but also Vlad said he couldn't remember, but I still don't buy it. Like, and wouldn't he have been found... I don't know. My hands were already trembling as well from a half-formed thought that I was afraid to process. Any traces? Evidence? No fingerprints, nothing. The only thing that's clear is that he wasn't killed by a human. It took an inhumane force, and don't forget the claws. It looks like a beast. But I don't think a beast would throw the body into the well and close it with a stone lid. To be honest, I have no idea who to look for. Commissioner knows my frightened, numb face. Sorry, dear. I didn't mean to scare you, but I thought you should know. Yes, thank you for telling us, Commissioner. Mr. Dugan said goodbye. Leo and Sandra went to see him off, asking for some professional police details as they went. Oh, good. Only Vlad and I remained at the terrace. He whispered with pale, disobedient lips. I killed him. You don't remember. Vlad, but you don't remember that night, and you can't know for sure. He turned his darkened gaze to me slowly. Flesh torn with claws, blood drained. That's how Dracula kills, Melody. Yeah, but people are out to get you. Human and demon alike are out to get you. Of course they will make you think that you did this. Come on. They're trying to manipulate here. They're trying to manipulate, okay? They want him occupied by these stupid humans. And they're trying to drive a wedge between us so that I'll be like scared that Vlad killed somebody. Nah. Don't fall for it, Leah. Or do you think there's another monster vampire around the castle? There doesn't have to be a vampire. Other people could do this. There's all types of demon. We still don't know what type of demon Agnes is. Some kind of ghost girl crazy. I don't even know. I know she didn't do it, but still. I don't know. But what I know for sure is that until the guilt is proven, the person is not guilty. And there is no proof. He clenched his fist so hard his fingers went white. I hate this darkness. I hate myself for it. We'll conduct the ritual tonight. I'll get rid of it, whatever it takes. I don't know about that. It's your decision. And obviously I'll help you. But I don't know about that. Especially with these humans trying to... What's the name? We might need his powers to get out of here. I am not above bouncing from this place. I had to run away with you. I'm just saying. Because we can go to the dark world from anywhere. We don't have to stay here. I was sitting in my room, unable to get up, worried. It was time to get ready. The ritual was about to begin. Sandra had asked me to dress in all white for it. Finally, when there was no time to stall anymore, I got up. Ooh. Ooh. Like I'm getting ready for like to get wed. They're getting married. I really like the top of this. So pretty. But I like all the little details in this one as well. Oh, like the little flower thing been on her arm. Oh, they're both so pretty. I don't know what to choose. The little flower band. The little pop of color. Something blue. Then I brush my hair. Oh, it's on the top too. Okay, this clearly is supposed to go with it. But I'm gonna be honest, I don't like it. So, I'm gonna get this one. Because it is very pretty. And then I'm gonna go back to the other hair because I like it better. Alright, don't let me... Oh, it wasn't a blue armband. The blue thing is what was on the top. It's almost midnight and everything was ready in the chapel. As Sandra has ordered, the door was locked tightly and the window was covered with a cloth completely. Wait, this is the same chapel? It looks completely different. A big circle was drawn in chalk in the center, and there were 4 circles smaller in it. Candles were burning along the perimeter of the chapel, and the shadows of their fire were dancing on the walls, assuming peculiar, frightening forms. The thick, suffocating fragrance of some oils was filling the room with its mist. There were 4 of us, Vlad, Leo, Sandra, and I. Sandra was standing in a small circle by the entrance, holding the manuscript and giving us explanations quietly. I'm standing in the western part. It's the place of word. I read the incantations from here. Words are the main instrument of this ritual. They will affect the darkness, luring it out of the body and guiding it where it wants to be. I think I get it. If we place all his darkness, all his power into something, then someone can take it and use it. Because they're all afraid of his power. And if we just draw it out like this, then anyone can use it. At least in his hands, it's safe. Oh no. She pointed at the pillar on the left. Vlad was standing next to it. We shouldn't go through with this. And timely, Ruthven suddenly, on the day that we're supposed to do the ritual, this comes up, making him want to get rid of his darkness. Manipulation. Please don't go through with this. His wrists were chained, and the thick chain was wrapped around the pillar, holding him tightly. Sote wrote that we want to use the Boaz pillar. The copper plate that you found here told us that it was the northern pillar. So the north is the place of darkness. That's where Vlad and the carrier is standing. It's supposed to go into the pillar. Cinder turned to the second pillar, and that's the south and the place of protection. I wrote the protective sigils onto the southern circle. They won't let the darkness harm any of us. Leo, you can also stand there. Your energies are perfect for this place. All right. Leo walked to the southern pillar and stood into the circle next to it. Melody? Yeah? You have the east, the place of light. I walked to the window and stood in the circle by it. You and your light are the counterparts for the darkness, the main element that makes the darkness subdue to the incantation. What do I have to do? None of you has to do anything. Just stand in your circles and don't leave them whatever happens. I need to take a step out of this circle. I have to. We gotta stop this. I know it's his decision, but it's also mine. He can't do this without me. Is everything clear? Are you ready? No. This is clear. I'm ready. Ready. You don't sound sure. Think this through some more. Alright, then we're starting. This is a bad idea. Sonia took to reading from the manuscript. The long strings of words in an unknown language were flowing from her mouth smoothly, almost without pauses. They seemed to put me in a trance. My head was spinning, the surrounding reality was getting less and less real, and Sandra's voice seemed to drown in a choir of other voices now. Not from these places, not from this time, very ancient. Through obscured vision, I saw Vlad. His body was thrashing in the chains, making him arch his chest and clench back. Screams were escaping his throat, wild, inhumane screams. And thick black tar was spreading around him on the floor. An unknown power seemed to pull into the pillar, but separate currents like the antenna kept tearing out and drawing themselves across the circle. They were raising and lunging at Sandra, dancing almost by her face, trying to grab her. She was getting pale, drawing her head into her shoulders despite herself, but kept reading without stopping. They attacked Leo, but he was standing there, not moving and not even blinking. They got to me as well. The black splashes and antennae surrounded me completely, cutting me from the world. They were carrying something in them, something making my blood turn cold and weakening me. All of my fears, all the pain I'd ever endured were rising from the depths of my conscience and soaking through each cell of my body. Each moment I felt like I couldn't endure it anymore, like I was about to fall and die right there. But second after second passed and I was still standing, out of the very last strength I didn't even know I had. And then the antenna fell back. All the currents of the darkness pulled into the main one, going into the pillar. Soon they all disappeared in it completely. Vlad's body shivered several more times and hung on the chains. I suddenly realized I didn't hear the incantation anymore. That I didn't hear anything at all. That's it. That's the end. All the darkness is gone. Cinder sank to the floor, almost out of strength. Leo ran to Vlad from his circle and started undoing the chains. Vlad got up. Staggering on his feet, he didn't walk to me. He ran. Melody. And I ran towards him, treading on air. Vlad. We collided somewhere in the center of the circle. My arms seemed to grow into him, clinging onto his body with all my strength. His arms wrapped around me, hugging me, clenching me. He wasn't in pain anymore. I wasn't in pain anymore. The hug. We saw each other and the air between us cast away the picture of the trees, naked and apathetic, not letting it flow through anymore. We ran to each other, screaming our names so fast that time collapsed between our chests. The blow made the hour break into sparkling minutes. I want to hold you in my arms, like I hold the body of childhood, outran by its deaths with no limits. I want to hold you with my ribs. Well, that was very beautiful. I'm scared, though. I'm scared. Okay? I'm scared because I'm so concerned that someone's going to access that pillar and steal all of that power. You know, and I can still fight them. But, you know, that leaves Vlad really vulnerable, and he probably has, like, think of all the people who wanted to kill him all this time. And of course, just because his power's gone, that's not going to stop the stupid human people, Nella and her cronies. I'm not over it. She gets on my nerves. That's not going to stop them from, you know, trying to hold him responsible for Withfin's death and, you know, saying this is and that he still has the darkness and this and that, you know. Speaking of which, where is Henry? He's supposed to be keeping an eye on us, like stalking us. And we know he's living here. Has he not been listening in on any of these conversations? I know he has. So what has he been reporting? What is he saying? It's weird that they haven't brought him up right now. I haven't forgotten. I forget some stuff. I haven't forgotten that. They brought it up in like this episode or last episode. I don't know. Anyway, okay, I'm done. Almost 2 hours. Okay, but we're caught up. We're caught up even with the new, what's the name? So we have a whole month to catch up with other stuff. So next thing I'm working on is the flower from Tiamat's fire. So there was some requests for that. So I am working on it. Right now, I'm working on the new episodes because I'm writing the walkthrough with a partner. But like when I'm writing the walkthrough, I just kind of like click through and like write the choices down. So like I haven't had time to really delve into the lore. So that'll be fun for me to do with you guys. So we will make recording that next because I definitely want to replay it because I made some random choices just for purposes of the walkthrough. And I'm not pleased with how things have turned out because the latest episodes are something. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. If you just feel, go ahead and share, like button, some love, subscribe to see more content like this, and I will see you next time. Bye. Enjoy the update.